Okay, so next up is Andy Arnold. Andy lives in Shorewood. He worked for just over 10 years in special education, including 2 years as a teacher. And in that 2 years as a teacher, he gained some unique insights into the inner workings of the school system and the characteristics of children with disabilities, especially autism, which led him to write his first book titled Scandal 52. Andy's own disability partially resembles Asperger's syndrome. He incorporated some of his childhood characteristics into his main character, Peter, and tonight he's going to read a selection from his book, Scandal 52. Andy Arnold.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, this is just one little part of Peter's story. He's taking part in a spelling bee, and this is very nerve-wracking for him because he has this autism. Mississippi, began Peter as he rapidly mangled the napkin stored in his pocket. His hands worked quickly as he rolled the napkin bits between his fingers at a breathtaking rate. Having a fidget was one of the best ways for 11-year-old Peter Sammons to calm his nerves and ease the stress of being the center of attention. Spelling words in front of a panel of judges, his classmates, and a huge crowd was way more difficult than spelling words at home while practicing with mom and dad. Usually, Peter thrived at spelling, but this situation was causing so much anxiety. M-R-S, oh no, wait, let me try again, exclaimed Peter very quickly. Let me try again, please, I'm so sorry, please. A light snicker rippled through the crowd, some from Peter's classmates who had often made fun of him through the years. This sucks, he thought. He would usually nail that word in his sleep, but he was so nervous. Mississippi was such an easy word, but his mind just didn't want to work right now. It's okay, said spelling bee judge Norman Weber. You are allowed to correct yourself one time during each round. Please try again. Peter took a deep breath, which was a coping strategy he had learned in a social story read to him by his resource teacher, Miss Jones, and his social worker, Mrs. Green. The social story had also reminded Peter to spell words slowly during the spelling bee. This was easier said than done. It was much harder to stay calm and spell words slowly in the heat of the moment than while practicing. Mississippi, M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P. I've got to think, what was that last letter? There were so many people in the crowd. He saw Tommy, who had made fun of his hand flapping back in 3rd grade. He forgot where his mom and dad were sitting because of all the people. He was so nervous. His mind was going a mile a minute, and the napkin in his pocket was now shredded in a gazillion people. Deep breath, he reminded himself. One of his best friends, 5th grade classmate Bessie Lindgren, made eye contact with him. She and one of his other best friends, Sammy Jones, often looked out for Peter and wanted the best for him. Although this was technically cheating, she made the motion of rubbing her eye. Aye! Shouted Peter excitedly. That is correct, said Mr. Weber with a hint of happiness in his own voice. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Andy. That was wonderful.